And now I'm introducing a new character called Dr. Clarissa Kates. And I'm very excited about this, who is a psychiatrist, and she's obsessed with curing mental illness. And this is because when she was younger, she had a best friend named Marilyn, and they were very precocious. These kids, they were like maybe 9 or 10, and they were talking about world politics and science and wormholes and all stuff that would probably make adults laugh and chuckle, but they were way ahead of their time. They always had this little banter going between them, but one day the banter got very serious. The debate got very heated, and Marilyn started reading into everything that she was saying, and they had this terrible blowout as kids. Mind that they're best friends, right? And then the next day, she didn't hear from her, and she didn't hear from her for like about a week or something. And so she decided to call over to her, and Marilyn's parents told her that she was in a psych ward. This really distressed her, distressed Clarissa, and she went and visited her. Marilyn was just so mean and wouldn't have anything to do with her, and was reading into everything and felt like she had enemies all around her. And it was very distressing to her. And eventually, Marilyn ended up doing one of the most horrible acts ever, committing suicide. And this left an intense mark on Clarissa, Dr. Clarissa Kates. She would later become a doctor, of course. Her main focus was to understand mental illness, and in her childlike mind wanted to find the cure for it. Jeffrey, what's up, dude? Right on, my man. Thank you for saying hi to me. I appreciate it, Jeffrey. But we're going to do an experiment here. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to do this little share screen, and I'm going to go first to this page right here. This is my YouTube page, and I'm keeping it really simple here. So far I've worked on Chase Dagwood. Over here we have Eddie Clive, which in here I do some work with Grave Mood Rings, my friend Craig. And these guys are top notch with their video production and it's very abstract comedic stuff based on horror. We're going to expound upon Clarissa Kates. So you go to Psychotronic Squirt Gun, the first EP here. Soon all these songs will be redone. And right now we're going to Dr. Clarissa Kates, right? So we go to the very first song of hers, which is The Good Doctor. And I'll read a little bit of this too. Dr. Clarissa Kates. Clarissa's story begins here. Meet Dr. Clarissa Kates. She's absolutely bemused over her sister and has some thoughts of her own about her and her new age ways, right? Dr. Kates is also pretty intense. She wants to find a cure for mental illness, not just categorize various forms of it and prescribe medication accordingly. She knows the solution for this is out there, so she's convinced. I forgot to mention that her sister is Celia. We hear a lot about Celia later in her new age ways, right? She kind of, Dr. Clarissa Kates regards her sister as a flake, And one time her sister actually had a mental breakdown as well. So you can imagine that. But Dr. Clarissa Kates managed to help her sister. So that's pretty cool, right? But yeah, her sister too, Celia, you're going to hear a lot from Celia. She went crazy too in the past. That's not a nice way to put it, but actually her sister was able to help her sister where she couldn't help her best friend, childhood friend there, Maryland, Mary. Mary ended up offing herself, and that's horrible, man, terrible. And so she's driven, So here it goes. She steps into the balcony that leads to her office. She's thinking of her sister, The good doctor has some concerns. How on earth? All right, I think I got him. Thanks for the patience, Pardon me. The good doctor. She steps into the balcony that leads to her office. She's thinking of her sister. The good doctor, Dr. Clarissa Kates, has some concerns. How on earth could her sister think that way? Clarissa thinks she's running from something within her own self and tells her that. But Celia, her sister, quips back entertainingly enough. She seems well adjusted in her life, even happy. So what's the obsession with ancient aliens and secret space programs? So she's really concerned about her new age sister here, Celia Kates, right? She was able to help her sister. So what's the obsession with ancient aliens and secret space programs, right? And government conspiracies to cover them up. The good doctor steps into her office and thumps down on her office chair. At her desk and smiles, she is grateful for her sister. Not everyone comes from a good home, and her siblings are her best friends, okay? So they did come from a good home, but tragedy could still hit good people, good homes. She did have a childhood best friend, though, who she still thinks about. Someday, she would like to see a cure for mental illness, and that's why she is who she is, the good doctor. And that's it. Have a wonderful day. She steps into the balcony that leads to her office. She's thinking